All right. Oh, yeah, pick this up. Okay. All right, guys. Let's see here. Mm-mm-mm. What's up, y'all? Hopefully, Castle is okay. He played horribly after that awkward landing. Um, I guess we'll wait. Mm, mm. Let's see here. What a weird loss, but it is what it is. I'm actually not crazy upset about this one. Kind of felt like it was coming in a way. Even though I believed in this, I thought I didn't think we would blow out the Jazz. I thought it would be a hard fought one and we would pull out at the end just because of talent, but you can't always just lean on talent, right? The Jazz, I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, how many threes did they hit this game? Woo! That was tough. Need a wake-up call? That's all right. Stuff like this happens. All right. Okay. San Antonio Spurs lost. A lot of Spurs fans are upset in the chat, as I can see. I understand why you're upset, but honestly, guys, it's not. I'm not tripping about it. Okay. I got some takeaways, quite a few negative things to say, but there's also some pretty good that came out of today. Okay. So we don't have to just focus on what our Spurs did, because there were some really good things that happened around the league that's going to help us going forward. So we're going to be fine. This ain't the biggest loss in the world, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But before we do that, big shout out to Sleeper. If you guys are, oh wait, there we go. Big shout out to Sleeper. If you guys are interested at all in daily fantasy sports, go check it out. Link in the description below. If you don't care about that whatsoever, you can head on over to the social media section on the app, in which it gives you a bunch of highlights, updates, injury reports, stats of this dunk. Okay. Stats, fights, as you can see here. Jose Alvarado and Mark Williams getting into it. He pushes him. Mark Williams pushes. Look at this punch. Bop! He hit him hard right there. Anyways, if you guys are interested, I'll go download Sleeper. Use the link below. And when you support the sponsors, you support the channel. You use Clan and you get 100% match up to $100. All right, so my cat is acting a fool right now. So let me just go straight over to the stats. Now, this is how I feel about this game, okay? Because it's not the end of the world. There's two things that happened today that you should be happy about, and then we'll go ahead and talk about the negatives of this game and what I saw as well. I saw someone bring up Sohan, and yes, I have something to say about that. So first and foremost, the positives. Let's get the positives out the way. The Knicks lost today. They barely lost, but they lost against the Orlando Magic. So as far as being worried whether or not we lose our positioning, we're in the exact same place that we were before the loss as we are after the loss. It's totally fine. Nothing changes as far as our positioning. We got the same amount of leeway ahead of the Nuggets. So that's good. Okay. So as far as us losing our second spot right now, that's not going to be the case. We have a really tough one coming up. I think Cleveland is going to be a pretty tough matchup. But with this one, yeah, you should have won, but it's okay. You know, that's what happened. The Nuggets did get their L today. So that's good. Another thing that's really good is if you guys were watching the Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks game, the Knicks pulled it away. They beat the Atlanta Hawks. So as far as us getting that lottery pick, we're getting closer and closer to that, hopefully. So Atlanta Hawks haven't been looking the best, but they look pretty competitive today. So that's not fun. Sorry, I'm like looking at my cam, hoping she doesn't try to go over here because there's literally nowhere to step to. But yeah, so those are two good things that came out of today. So if you want some positivity, if you want to feel a little bit better about the loss, we got the Nuggets losing and we got the Atlanta Hawks losing. Two good things that happened for the Spurs today. So even though we put up a stinker, that's totally fine. All right, now I think it's time to go through the negatives of this game. So first and foremost, we're not going to have a game like this again. We are not going to have a game like this again. What are the odds that the Utah Jazz shoot 46% from three and we shoot 23%? Spurs literally shot 23%. That is not like we do not shoot this poorly. Like, this was crazy as far as that's concerned. Also, another thing too, with Fox being out today, it put a lot more pressure on Castle to perform. And man, it felt like he was getting turnovers left and right. He only had 4 guys. It felt like, if you watch this game, it felt like 7 turnovers from Castle. As you know, earlier in the season, when they were strictly playing through him, he was putting up the most turnovers in the league. But luckily, the Spurs started changing things up, leaning on Fox a little bit more in certain situations, and we were totally fine. But right now, yeah, that's really bad. He also went 1 for 8 from 3, so he wasn't shooting well, but no one on the team was. I mean, Julian 0 for 6, 0 for 4 from Wemby, 2 for 9 from Vassell, 1 for 8 from Castle, 1 for 3 from Harrison Barnes, which I guess technically is okay. Lindy Waters missed 1, but that was in garbage time. 5 for 7 from Keldon. Keldon came alive. Like, he was the only one I think that we could solely rely on. Vic having 32 points is actually crazy because it didn't feel like it. That's just how good he is. 5 blocks did not feel like it. That's just how good he is. But Luke Cornett only gave us 7. Carter Bryant gave us a 3 in there, so that was good. Dylan Harper went 0 for 4, which is crazy. He went 3 for 10 from the field because it felt like he had more points than that. So really weird. Yeah, Julian has been struggling. You're right, Drifter. So it's one of those losses, man, where you come off some very high emotional games. I mean, you play the Thunder in 2 huge games. Everybody's watching. You win on Christmas. A lot of energy and effort goes into those games. And then you go against the Jazz team and you kind of take a night off, right? Like, I think that we still, tried to do our thing and show a little bit of energy in the fourth, but it just wasn't enough. I know a lot of people were blaming Mitch Johnson, which I'm not putting this all on him, right? People want to bring up like the weird lineups of this game. I mean, maybe it was a matter. I was trying to stop my cat from chewing on something. Maybe it was a matter of the team underestimating the Jazz a little bit. Therefore, also the coaches did it too. It was kind of weird. Yes, the line was kind of weird. So that is what it is. So overall, like, you're just not going to have a game like this again. Like, it's not like the Jazz defense was just like top notch, just stopping us from doing everything. No offense to them. They did their thing. They hit their shots, but we were just missing wide open ones, man. And this was one of those really rare occasions that you're just not going to see often, where our depth, everyone is basically playing poorly, and Keldon Johnson ain't going to save you, right? So it's pretty rough. It was pretty rough. Now, bringing up Sohan, I'm going to say this with my whole heart, okay? This game from Sohan, negative 30 from Steph Castle is crazy. Yeah, his turnovers were horrible. But this game from Sohan actually was one of the most disappointing games I've seen from him. He barely played, and yet and still I was very disappointed. And the reason why I was disappointed is because this was one of the only, and I understand, I'm going to explain why I think this is the case, but this was one of those occasions where I'm not accustomed to him not allowing the game to come to him. And I think that he's at a headspace right now where he doesn't think that he can afford to do that, right? It was a lot of forced cuts. It was a lot of just jumbling up the offense. Usually he's making really smart cuts or getting to the more open space, but it was very forced. It wasn't just Sohan forcing it either. It seemed like his teammates were trying to force him the ball. Any chance they got to try to get him to shoot a 3, they passed it out to him. Like, oh, he got a little bit of space, let me give it to him. Like, it seems like his team, which it just shows how much, they all want each other to win and care about each other and all that. And they all have chemistry, right? They all care about each other, but they want him to be a part of this thing. And it seemed like it was forced. It was some passes where I was like, usually we wouldn't have just forced that to the corner the way that we did. Sohan, like I said, he was forcing his offense, and he's in a really weird spot, a really terrible spot, honestly, where you're in a contract year, you're not getting any playing time. It feels as if you have to prove yourself, and he was very forceful. So just not an ideal situation for him. And I understand why it happened, but it doesn't excuse the fact that it did happen. Even if you play 2-3 minutes, the reason why I love Derek White so much is because he would get garbage time, but he never forced anything. But I do get it. It's the contract year. You have to try to do the best you can when you're out there. But it felt forced. It did not feel like a Sohan game where I could say, oh, his stats weren't there, but he played well. He did not play well. He had a couple good passes in there, but honestly, guys, it was very forced. That he seems very uncomfortable right now, and it's a really tough spot that they got him in that regard. But somebody saying Sohan was the reason we lost is crazy, though. I did see that. I was like, that's crazy. 6 minutes. I'm sorry. Did Sohan also shoot 23% from three? Come on. But overall, I will admit, like, very disappointed in his game today. Even those few minutes, it was like, oh man, you're forcing it, bro. You're forcing it. So still believe in him, still love him. I'm not one that's convinced that you can't use his skills and implement him into the offense. Obviously, his teammates were trying to force that, but it's going to have to happen a little bit more naturally, and the coaching staff will have to figure it out. But really tough game to watch from him. I was very disappointed. Really disappointed. But doesn't change the fact of how I feel, and I do think that you have a spot. And honestly, Keldon Johnson has opened my eyes up a lot, man. I like, he opened up my eyes to what is possible when you dumb down a role. And as bad as Keldon Johnson was defensively, and how forceful he was with the ball, especially last season with terrible percentages, and he can come into this season to playing the way he's playing, and just because they changed his roll up and he's confident in what he's doing, I have no doubt in my mind that just about anybody with the right amount of talent can get some minutes on this team. So yeah, still believe in Sohan. He's gonna be fine. Regardless, but this was probably the most disappointing 6 minutes I've ever seen in my life. My God. Now, with that being said, let's see, anybody else that stood out? Carter Bryant's defense was phenomenal. Shooting wise, 1 for 4, not that great, but his defense was really great. If you guys are paying attention, it was at one point where the Spurs usually always switch. They didn't do it with him. They made sure they were like, no, stick to your man. We're not switching. It just shows how good he is as a defender. Anything else to really say about this one, guys? I mean, I know that we want to pass the blame, pass the buck, say, hey, it's his fault. But it really just felt like one of those games where you come into it off of a very emotional high. Should you still win? Yes. Did you have a legitimate shot to? Yes. But like I've said 100 million times, not blaming one player because I love him. I was actually debating whether or not I should get a Castle or a Harper jersey today. I ended up landing on a Wemby one. I was like, screw it. I'm just going to get a Wemby one. But Steph Castle, I love him, but he's just not a primary point guard. And I think this game kind of showed that, or at least another example of that, because most of his reads is the first read, and these turnovers were god awful. And negative 30, a big chunk of it came from his offense, resulting in them doing what they want. Girl, what are you doing? She doesn't know what she wants. But yeah, classic trap game, kind of. Yeah, it's just one of those where, I mean, when I saw Jazz on the schedule, I really thought we win. I just didn't think it would be as convincing as it could be. And let me say this: if we play the Jazz tomorrow, Spurs blow them out. Like, they blow them out. But Jazz did a really good job of not complimenting. I'm sorry, my cat is like really distracting me, girl. What are you doing? They took advantage of every little mistake that we made. And like I said, they hit like 5 million threes. So it's okay. We're going to be all right. But yeah, nothing to really worry about. Nothing to see here. But a little disappointing. Just a little bit. So if anybody want me to say anything negative about Sohan, I'm saying it right now. My most disappointing game of his, where I felt like it was very forced, too forced. And his teammates tried to force it as well. But I understand where he's coming from. Like, this is a pretty tough situation for him to be in. But yeah. No. That's what happens when Sohan enters a game. It started there. He is a liability now on both ends. Spurs never recover. So you're telling me 6 minutes of one player playing changed the entire game. Do you really believe that? Come on now. You really believe that? Do you want to just say it for Lindy Waters too? It's just because Lindy Waters was in there with them too. Like, once Lindy Waters got into the game, everything was like, you're using him as a scapegoat. That's absolutely insane. You have an entire half of basketball to play, and the team shot 23%. Unless you're, at that point, you're going in like spirituality territory. Like, what he created a curse that just cursed the entire. Like, that's silly. One player doesn't cause that. The team that we just overestimated or underestimated the Utah Jazz. I think the coaching staff did as well. We did a little bit of experimenting. But then at the rest of the game, it's like, yeah, we went on a run and then we made some huge mistakes. I mean, good God, man. Steph Castle went -30. He had a plus minus of -30. Come on. But sure. That handful of Sohan minutes is the reason. This is why I don't like talking about Sohan with some of you, man. It's overblown. You go too far. I was trying to see what she was about to do. But yeah, we're fine. Yeah, obviously it's not. So you play 6 minutes. No game is on anybody who played for 6 minutes, dude. Unless it's like a close game and then there's 6 minutes left and then you put in a player and they just like turn the ball over several times. Like, it's not going to be on one player. That's a crazy thing to say. Crazy. At that point, you can just blame anybody. Like I said, blame Lindy Waters, I guess. I don't know. Silly to blame any one player for a loss. I feel like the only time you can blame one player for a loss is if they legitimately put up a stinker at the very end of a game. Like, and even then, that's still a little overblown to say it's just on them. But yeah. Clan Sohan gone. I'm devastated. Well, let's give it some time. Let's see what happens. It's a long season. We're not even at the 30 game mark yet. Wait, yeah, we are. We're not at the 35 game mark yet. We're not at the 35. We're not at the 35 game mark. There we go. He's definitely gone by deadline. Are you kidding? How many players are gone at deadline? Like, in Spurs history, how many players have been gone by the trade deadline? Yeah, he's not being used. That is true. We haven't seen Carter Bryant get used much either. But Carter Bryant's in a completely different situation that Sohan is in. But I'll tell you this. If at any point the coaching staff is thinking, okay, we're never going to use Sohan at all in the future, I really pray you're correct that he's traded at deadline. If that's what the mindset is, which as of right now, from my understanding, the front office still sees a future with Sohan. But if that's the case, yes, you got to trade him by deadline. You do not want him to walk because he will get more money elsewhere. But players want to play, you know? It's not enough just to be re-signed. Like, they want to play. Yeah. Well, we were 23%. They were 46%, actually. Yeah, Barnes is pretty late on closeouts. He's more useful when you can. I don't think the Barnes minutes were bad tonight though. 23 was good. I like Sohan, but I'd rather Brian get minutes over him. Brian has a higher ceiling for this team. Yeah, I would say that. I don't think that's a crazy take. I really just think Sohan, like Carter Bryant has a higher ceiling, but I really think Sohan's role on the team should just be dumbed down quite a bit. Like he's doing so much just to try to like, and one thing that really makes me sick. This is what will really gross me out. Okay, if we can't find a way to use Sohan, is this whole time that he's been here, he has sacrificed quite a bit for the team. Like they put him in so many situations, not only just to help his development, just to feel what the team needs, right? Like we had no point guard whatsoever. Hey, we kind of need you to experiment with that. We have no center, no backup center. Hey, we need you to be backup center. And all of it was a detriment to, I don't know necessarily his development, but it was definitely a detriment to, well, we could say that. We could say his development, but it was also a detriment to his future as far as in the league, right? And getting his contract. Like, yeah. He hasn't been in an ideal situation since maybe his rookie year to really show what he's capable of. I mean, you can go back and see like how some fans were talking about Sohan his rookie year. Like people were crazy about Sohan. So it's unfortunate, but that's what would make it gross to me is that you use them in so many different situations and so much sacrifice on his part. And then it's like, all right, bye. Which it happens, but us being the San Antonio Spurs, we've done a phenomenal job of continuing to develop players, right? Like we rarely just like kick you to the curb. Like that's very rare for us to do. Especially if you're talking about like a lottery pick. Yeah, we just don't really do that. Like Keldon is a product of development. Devin Vassell is a product of development. A lot of teams don't have guys on their roster that's been here that long, like just that they drafted and they keep them for so long. Spurs keep guys for a long time, and rightfully so. So I have enough examples and enough evidence in the past of Spurs making things work with their draft picks for me to believe that it's going to be all right. But we'll see. I hope he's good. He's going to be all right. I saw a post from Sohan that was really cool. Hold on. Like, even regardless of him not getting much playing time whatsoever, our boy is still trying to be there for the team. Let me see if I can show you. Here we go. Check this out.
I want to spread some love and good vibes, so let's meet at our spot, Southwest Elixirs, tomorrow at 3 p.m. for some free juice and just to hang out and have fun. Peace, love. We out. San Antonio, I hope everyone's having a great day. I want to spread some love and good vibes, so let's meet at our spot, Southwest Elixirs, tomorrow at 3 p.m. for some free juice and just to hang out and have fun.
Still a Spur. I saw that. Yeah, still a Spur. Just hang in there, guys. We got a really good team right now. This is a good talent. And did he let me down today? Yes. Good God. But I still believe in our boy. So just hang in there. It's gonna be all right. And just like how Castle put up a huge stinker today, that was quite disappointing. It's all right, you know. And the team as a whole was pretty horrible today, but it's all right. I'm not throwing anybody throwing anybody under the bus on this one. It was just a weird loss, man. But it happens. It happens. It's all right. Did you see a video where Trey Murphy talked about Carter Bryant? No. What the heck? Like he was kind of a mentor to him? Oh, really? Man, everybody's a mentor to everybody in the NBA, aren't they? All right, let's take a look here. All right, cool. We have, guys, we have Mitch Johnson talking about this loss to the Utah Jazz. I'll tell you how I feel about that in 1 second. But before I do, big shout out to Sleeper as always. If you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports, go check it out. You just go over to the pick section. You try to see what's popping, what's going on. You got RJ. Here we go. RJ Barrett, points, rebounds, assists over 21 against Golden State. Yeah. Moses Moody, assists, at least 2 assists. That's an easy one. James Harden. He's getting no rebounds, is he? Why did he dress him up like a gift? Anyways, if you guys are interested, go check it out. Use promo code CLAN. You get a 100% match up to $100. Link in my description. Okay? All right. Shout out to Sleeper. All right, so we're going to listen to what Mitch Johnson has to say. And like I said in the other section, I'm not actually... hold on. I'm not ready yet. Like I said in the other section, or other segment, that is, I'm not really mad at one person. I saw quite a few people upset with Mitch Johnson. I think that the team as a whole kind of underestimated the Jazz, but as someone stated, this is a trap game. You know, like even the best Spurs teams, even though I think we still would have won it, like the big three back in our heyday or whatnot, I think we would have still won it. But there's been so many times where I've seen the Spurs come off of a huge win, very emotional game, and then you go into this one and you're like, okay, we just need to take a load off. We'll beat the Jazz. You know, they're the Jazz. But unfortunately, with them shooting as much as they shot this game, I don't think we were as locked in as we could have been, which is crazy to say because even in this game, you had some massive plays. Like, I don't think Wemby was as locked in as I've seen him, and he still had 5 blocks, 31 points. That just shows you how good some of these players are. I didn't think Dylan Harper was the best. He went 3 for 10, which is crazy. I thought watching the game, it felt like he did better than that. But that massive dunk he had was crazy. So you still had some really huge plays in this. How many assists did Dylan Harper have? He had 12 assists. Okay, that's why I felt like he did great. Yeah, he did. He did fine. But I did think he scored more than he did. All right, let's take a look at what Mitch Johnson had to say. I'm assuming he'll take... I don't know if he'll take much accountability on this one. I don't know if he really needs to. Yeah, team just needed to lock in. A little bit more effort. But a lot of it came down to, hey, Jazz is making everything and we're missing open shots. So
when you have an opponent that shoots it the way the Jazz did tonight, how do you evaluate, hey, they were hot?
And Jazz are number 1 assist team in the NBA, right? Chat, or am I tripping? I don't know if that's true.
Versus we could have done XYZ to cool them off.
They obviously get credit for their production and their performance, but when you say evaluate ourselves, pretty disappointed in quite a few things. The game plan execution in terms of just not being connected on very simple things that we do every game that weren't necessarily pertinent to just the Utah Jazz. But the
number 1 assist percentage, got it.
Utah Jazz took advantage of that and crushed us when we made mistakes.
Yeah.
What happened or what transpired in the
any mistake we made, they were able to get downhill. I feel like my own headcanon is Isaiah was mad at me. He was mad at me. Isaiah Collier. That's my headcanon, that he was mad at me. Because I didn't want him. And everyone was talking about him in that draft. I was like, I don't want him.
second quarter where things got away from y'all?
I think it got away from us in the first quarter, too. I mean, we gave up 32 points, and they made shots that felt differently because we were making shots.
Are you kidding me, Chandler? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I should ban you just for that. Let's be honest. Those wins against the Thunder mean nothing. We lost to the Jazz. Let's be honest. The OKC Thunder wins mean nothing because we lost to the Utah Jazz. Are you for real? Are you for real? The Spurs beating the Thunder means everything. They just won the championship. And we beat them 3 times in a short period of time. It was so bad. It was such a bad loss. Hold on. It was so bad for them that they're crashing out. Have you seen how the how the OKC Thunder have been reacting to losing against us? They have been crashing out. I'll show you. Let me go to Twitter. They've been crashing out, and now the San Antonio Spurs are slowly becoming a standard. We are slowly becoming a standard. I'm actually not signed in. You guys listen to... Here, I'll sign in over here. You guys listen to Miss Johnson as I sign in. I don't want you guys just to miss out. So.
Our offense did not sustain in the second quarter, and so that's what made it felt a lot worse. But lack of communication, if I'm not...
Unfortunately, that's where you were missing De'Aaron Fox right there, because there was one play that was so bad, bro. Like, Wemby didn't know that he had no time left, and no one told him. Which, you know, as a team, you gotta lock in.
Doing something that my teammates expecting, or vice versa. It's hard to be connected. And then it felt like we chased the game a little bit in terms of some self-centered play, not selfish.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Let me show you something. Those games meant nothing. The Spurs are becoming a standard in the NBA. Look at this. Look at this arrogance. We are all in their heads, man. Look at this. Listen to J-Dub.
How much of that, wanting to win was the stage? How much of it was another shot at San Antonio? The Christmas Day game, yeah.
I played in the finals, brother. There probably won't be another stage as big as that, but I think it's just more like the team.
How much of that?
Yeah, so I know people are like, some people are like, well, is he lying? It's not about that, bro. It's the tone. Like, brother, I played in the finals. I've actually played in the finals. This means nothing. I played in the finals. Like, he's talking like you're Kobe, man. Like, you got to make it a few times before, like, I couldn't picture Duncan saying that I played in the finals. Really? I played in the finals. I mean, good God. So, I don't know. That just was a lot of arrogance on their part there. And then you had this, with Shea basically saying they're better than me.
You don't lose to a team 3 times in a row in a short span without them being better than you. So we have to get better. We have to look in the mirror, and that's everybody, from top to bottom, if we want to reach our ultimate goal.
That's from top to bottom. You lost to the San Antonio Spurs, and now it's like they're better than us. We need to reevaluate. Guys, keep in mind, this team is like 55-3. Like, they have been whooping on everybody all season, and their star player, after losing to us 3 times, says they're better than us. We need to reevaluate everything. You just won a championship. And they're talking like we really need it. It's almost like when JJ Redick was talking about the Lakers, which they do not have a championship winning roster. And he's like, oh, we really need to reevaluate ourselves and show more effort. And like, that's what it came across right here. It's like, we need to reevaluate what we're doing. Crazy. So yes, that meant a lot. That win meant a lot. Because we could very well, I mean, it's a long road, but we could very well see the Thunder, and we are on a lot of teams' radar. And what we're going to see, and this is the test, is it wasn't the Thunder. Thunder wasn't the test. The real test is what happens now. Because now that the Spurs have been in everyone's faces, talking heads talking about them, all these teams are really keying in on what we do well, what we're going into games and doing, and how we've become the blueprint of how to beat the Thunder, which a big blueprint is just having Wemby. But teams are going to come at us. Like, they're going at the San Antonio Spurs. So it mean a lot. It meant a whole lot. Yeah, we lost against the Jazz, but that happens sometimes. Now let's see how the Spurs respond.
Just trying to make, whether it's a hero play or try to catch up the score.
You can't name 3 Utah Jazz players? That's on you, man.
Quickly instead of just play the game.
I mean, I can give you right now Isaiah Collier, Marketing, and Keontae George. There you go.
And that's probably the biggest thing that I felt as a group.
Coach, what were you looking for, I guess, like with Vic kind of in the first half? It seemed like he was playing like shorter stints, and then they kind of got longer in the second.
Yeah, I think for him it's a balancing act of continuing to grow his fitness while also trying to keep him fresh, while also being mindful of the totality of the minutes. Obviously, tonight was the first night.
Chandler, Jazz were coming off a back-to-back. That makes this loss 100 times worse. That happens. We did that. We did that this season. It happens. Yeah, it's one of those teams you just kind of sneak up on you. It happens. I really just want to see what happens with the Spurs now, you know? Because we got some pretty tough matchups coming up. Yeah, this is how you respond. But every team is looking at us now, and that's a good thing. So that meant a lot. Now our true test happens. We get to see, are we a legitimate second team in the West, possibly best team in the West. But that meant a lot. Just because you lost to the Jazz, that doesn't take away the fact that you beat the OKC Thunder. What if it was the other way around? You'll be saying the same thing. That's like you can't win, right? Like if we lost to the Thunder 3 times and then we beat the Jazz, you'll be saying that doesn't mean anything because we beat the Jazz, but we lost to the Thunder. But we beat the Thunder and we lose to Jazz, so the Thunder games doesn't mean anything? Come on, bro. Come on.
He started, so probably a little conservative that we didn't want to overrun him early. But yeah.
I'm just angry, Clan. Don't be. It's okay. Like, this is not that bad. This is not that bad of a loss. What? Like, we shot 22%. The Spurs are not going to shoot 22% again. Like literally, we make a few of these threes. We got this game. We were just missing so many. It's okay. Like, it happens.
I'd say there's a few things at play, but that's a little bit of all of it. Is want them to be fresh because all our guys are better when they're obviously playing fast and hot as we try to play in our style of play. And then just continuing to push that, obviously, because we want his minutes to continue to go up. And then obviously not have him where we don't have enough minutes as the game goes on, where we feel like it might be a little bit more just closer and need him in there.
Coach, you guys struggled to hit deep shots in this game. How did you feel about it?
Why did Mitch let Wemby die on the court and not call a timeout? I don't know. He was on the floor for a long time. I hope he's okay. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, this game is going on a while. But okay.
The shot quality that you guys were able to generate on offense.
I thought we missed some really good shots. I thought we were not making early passes, and I think that probably would have created some better shot quality. I don't know our shot quality for the game as of now, but the eye test, or my eye test at least, felt like even some of our passes were also off time and off target, and I think we just were not anticipating making passes as early and as often as we have been recently. And
there was one pass that Carter Bryant made that, man, any other slightly better team, it was an easy turnover in the backcourt.
You could feel that at times where you may create an advantage, but if you don't get off it right when that advantage is available and you don't deliver a pass where your teammate can do something with it directly right away, they did a great job with their multiple efforts of then recovering and making us play through resistance.
A lot of these guys were talking about after the 2 games against Oklahoma State how much things can change and the focus, especially in the West. Was tonight just further proof of what you guys already knew in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, it's the NBA. The Utah beat the Detroit Pistons last night. They've been playing really good basketball. And
Detroit Pistons number 1 in the East right now, right? They're still number 1, right? Am I tripping? Let me see. How do we check on that? Standings. Yep. Still number. Wait, are they number one in the? No, they're not number one in the NBA. Are they number two? They're number two in the NBA. Second best team in the NBA. They just beat them. So.
The world talks, and we weren't as good as they said we were after Christmas. And I'm sure they'll kill us, and we aren't as bad as they'll say we were tonight. So we'll keep trying to get better, and there's a lot of areas to improve upon tonight for sure.
Nothing new for Keldon, but did you feel like he was doing basically everything he could to will you guys?
And not only that, guys, you could very well see this as a good loss. Like, you're coming off some very emotional games. Maybe you need a little bit of a wake-up call, right? And then without Fox, you don't really have anybody to just. Well, I don't think Fox has necessarily just been saving us, throughout this thing, but I mean, it wakes up Castle too. Like, hey man, you got to do better with these turnovers, right? It wakes up everybody. It might have been a good loss. And not only that, like, the Nuggets lost tonight too. You still have your lead in the West. Nothing changed. And the Atlanta Hawks loss. I mean, that doesn't have to do with our standings, but it has to do with our draft picks.
Back into that game in the second half.
I think.
Wake up call, bro. No excuses, bro. No excuses. How is that an excuse? Me saying this could be a good loss. That has nothing. How? Yeah. What? I said this could be a wake-up call, and your response is no excuses. Me saying it could be a wake-up call is an excuse. I'm just saying that there's something good that could come out of a loss sometimes. It's okay. It's not that bad. This loss isn't as bad as you think it is. That's all I'm saying. Now, we got some actual tough games coming up. But hey, smack us in the face a little bit, We're on team's radar. That's a good thing.
Keldon would be a very
Get us ready for the playoffs.
Example, along with Carter Bryant, of when you put your energy into the right places, typically you get rewarded, and sometimes that is fate, luck, timing, or you're just ready to play.
Good stuff. Yeah, you guys are tripping. Everything's okay. All right, next order of business. We actually have not seen Keldon Johnson talk in a little while, and I have to say, I said this 50 million times before, but I'll say it again. Keldon Johnson has surprised me to no end. He has been phenomenal. They've dumbed down his role so much, and he has embraced it. He has been a bully. He's been awesome. No complaints whatsoever from Keldon. Like, sometimes, and I think Mitch Johnson even brought this up, like, sometimes his team defense can be a little weird, but the Spurs got more talent, so that covers up for it quite a bit, and he's still doing a pretty good job. There's quite a few defensive possessions where I'm like, Keldon didn't do bad there, right? No one can just cook him like they were cooking him prior, but it's also changing up our defensive schemes as well. That's kind of helped. But just him fitting into the team, he has been phenomenal. He is leagues better than he's been for us in previous seasons. I know some people will bring up like the tanking season, how good he was. But nah, man, this is the best version of Keldon we've seen, because his role has changed, and because he has fully embraced it, and because defensive schemes has helped, and he has been locked in. So this is the best version of Keldon I have ever seen, and he has been nothing less than perfect in my book as far as what we need from him. Now, before we take a look at that, big shout out to Sleeper. If you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports, go check it out. Like I said, super easy stuff. You just head on over to Sleeper, link in the description, and use promo code CLAN. You get a 100% match up to $100. And as you can see here, you just scroll through and you can make your picks for the day. If you don't care about that at all, you can also go over to the social media section, in which you can see highlights, updates, injury reports, news, discussions, rumors, breaking news, anything that's on your to-do list to to see what's going on. It's on there. What happened? Jonathan Mina is very frustrated with the Warriors, and he has several meetings with Steve Kerr. Dude, the Warriors are in a bad situation because you have like a few older players, and then you have super young players. Whereas you're actually asking the super young players to just like be role players for the older generation of players, and that's just not going to work, especially if you're not about to win a championship and it's very obvious you're not. Yeah, they're just going to get frustrated. Warriors have really fumbled their talents. I think they should have made some more moves. All right, let's see what Keldon has to say. Honestly, think they made a mistake by not choosing. Right, you have to choose your fate. I just think you have to choose your fate as a franchise. Like either you're going to go all in with the play. Oh crap! I didn't realize I'm still on the screen. Either you're going to go all in on the talent that you do have and try to make a run for a championship, or you're going to rebuild. And I feel like the Warriors try to have it both ways, and now the younger players are frustrated.
What transpired tonight that allowed this thing to get away from y'all?
His fashion is phenomenal, by the way. This is actually, wow, this fit.
I think just as a collective group, you know, we I feel like, me personally, I feel like we tiptoed into the game. I feel like I don't think that we deserve to win. Honestly, I felt like and, you know, it's a humbling loss. I feel like, you know, we've had similar games this year.
Guys, would you say that it's a good loss, like Clan said, like 5 minutes ago? Maybe?
Where we've been in and we found ways to pull it out. And, you know, tonight wasn't the case. And I feel like, you know, it was a very, very humbling loss. I feel like we can learn from it. And I feel like, you know, we stay together. We win them together, we lose them together at the end of the day. And we get back to the drawing board tomorrow and we go prepare for Cleveland. And, you know, we're gonna tighten some things up. But we all know as a group that, you know, tonight was unacceptable. They played hats off to them. They played a good game. Their players hit shots. But I do not feel like, you know, we played to our standard. And
so what we're going to start doing is just take a look at Keldon Johnson post games from now on. I don't want to look at anyone else's post game but Keldon's. If I told y'all, if I put a voice what's it called? Voice modulator. If I did a voice modulator and I didn't show the face and I just did it for Mitch Johnson, you guys be like, oh man, Mitch Johnson's going to lay it into this team tomorrow. He's right though. He's like completely right. Yeah, he's completely right.
We plan on getting back to that on Monday.
Mitch singled out the defensive side of the ball. What was sort of the disconnect there?
Like I said, I feel like we didn't come into the game
thinking to be bullies, right? Like we're usually the bullies. We have been the bullies. We've been very frustrating and irritating for a lot of teams. And you have to continue to play like you're the underdog, right? You got to continue to play like you got something to prove. And that's going to be really challenging, especially after we finally win our sixth, but our first championship with this group. You know, you gotta make a habit of that right now. You always got to be the underdog.
As the players, we didn't come into the game doing the things that got us to the
mentality of that. Sorry,
that's where we at, and that's what happens when you don't do that. And I feel like you know, we look it over in film, and we'll bounce back. I have no doubt about that. I feel like I mean, we all know that we dropped the ball tonight, and we feel like, you know, we get another chance at it in a couple of days, and we'll be ready and prepared for that.
Why do you guys rarely drop the ball? You don't really tiptoe into games. What is it about this team, the way you guys operate leading into a game on off days that allows you to do that? Why didn't that work tonight?
I feel like it's been games this year where we have dropped the ball. We just, you know, the ball is we found a way to pull it out, and we end up getting a win, so it didn't look as bad. But I feel like tonight, I feel like we didn't deserve it, and
I'm loving everything he's saying right now. This is what I've brought up before. Wow. You remember? Hold on, I need to talk to y'all. You remember when the San Antonio Spurs lost some games. I'm sorry. They won some games this season, but I came into it post game talking to you guys and actually upset about the win. And everybody was like yelling at me saying, oh, you're just mad because Sohan didn't play and all this nonsense. When I was just pointing out the fact that the team did not play well for the majority of the game. And I felt like our talent is what saved us, or Fox saved us, or Castle did some hero ball at the end, or Dylan Harper did some hero ball at the end. But overall, overwhelmingly, we played a poor game of basketball. And I was like, this isn't going to work against better teams. You have to be tight-knit. How we did against the Thunder, that's how you got to be, right? But man, there were so many people angering me. And now you have our boy, Keldon, telling you exactly what I was talking about. There were so many games like that this season. Like the last Pelicans game, Clan. It was just so many like that, man. He's right.
I feel like from top to bottom, I feel like we didn't deserve it. I feel like, and we'll make those proper adjustments. I feel like I said, we have a standard. And I feel like we uphold that standard, and we're gonna continue to hold ourselves to a certain standard as a whole organization, as a team, everybody. So, and we will do that. I have no worries about that. I feel like from top to bottom, we're gonna tighten it up, and we go out there in a couple of days and get another crack at it.
Did you get pissed off after the game? Did you get mad at anybody, or you just walk around smiling and happy? You're like, oh, we're good. We'll get it next time.
Losing is probably the worst feeling in the world. But
What an answer. What an answer. What an answer. But this was a loss? What's your point? What's your point? What an answer. Man. Keldon basically said, this is the worst feeling in my life. He's like, I lost my dog last week. My dog got hit by a car. But this feeling tonight is much worse.
You can be mad, you can be disappointed. But also, you know that we have another game in a few days, and knowing that, you know, we get another chance to go in and look at film tomorrow and clean up some things. You know, it sucks losing. I hate losing. But, you know, for me, you can't point fingers at anybody. This was a team effort. No one person lost us the game. And when we win, it's no one person that wins us the game. You know, you win them together, you lose them together. So when you look to the left and right, that's my brothers. And we lost as a collective group. We lost the game tonight, and it's no point, no fingers. It's none of that, because when we win, everybody's happy. And losing is a part of basketball. You're gonna lose. You're gonna drop the ball sometimes, and it's all about how you respond. Great teams respond, you know, and respond in the right way, and we will do that in the upcoming games.
How's your three-point shot feeling these days?
That's what I'm saying. That's all it comes down to. This is like to say like this game doesn't mean anything, or the games against the Thunder doesn't mean anything, and this one, because you lost to the Jazz, is silly. Like, going forward, this is about to be a huge test. It's a good it could have been a good loss with this one. Because you're on team's radar now. And how do you respond to that? Now, if the Spurs continue to dominate, I mean, you beat the Thunder 3 times, guys. If the Spurs continue to dominate the way they've dominated this season, even despite us being under everyone's radar, like, what makes the Thunder so dangerous and scary is the fact that they won a championship and their record is what it is, right? Like, everyone's focused on them and they still dominating. The same thing with the previous Warriors team when they were at their peak. Like, our teams, right, when we kept winning 50-plus games and everyone knows the standard is to beat the Spurs, that's what makes you great. So this is a really good test. And we have enough talent and a great enough mentality, I think, that we're going to be just fine. But I'm really looking forward to the games now.
Feels good.
I was already, but I really am now.
I mean, my teammates put me in the right spots, making an extra pass when I'm open, on time, on target. And, I just trust the work, honestly. But all credit to my teammates. I feel like they give me the confidence to shoot the ball and make shots. And so does my coaches.
Just every answer is just this. Oh, I'm gonna shut up. Every answer is so perfect.
The word humbling a few times.
Oh, man.
Can that be a good thing for you guys, especially after a couple weeks here where you've earned a lot of praise and a lot of hype around this team?
Yeah, I mean, like, we know we're not the perfect team, but we know we strive and we have standards, and we got to uphold them standards in order for us to get to where we want to be at this season. So it's definitely humbling, but like I said before, I have the utmost faith in my teammates, my brothers. I feel like we're going to, get back at it tomorrow. Keep pounding the rock, keep trusting each other, and, we just learn and build from this loss.
What did you see from Vic to start the second half? I think he came out firing, basically. Took the first 4 or 5 shots of the half. Was that an uptick in aggression from him, or did you guys talk about that at halftime? Or?
I mean, that's our guy. We go as Vic goes. I mean, he's the the centerpiece for offense and defensively for us. And I mean, he came out and
no, he ain't. You are, Keldon. You're the centerpiece. I'm building around Keldon Johnson. Oh man, I'm loving this.
At the tone, he was aggressive from the jump in the second half, and as you've seen, we all followed. So
you found your new Sohan. No, Sohan is my Sohan. Okay, don't get it twisted. I've always liked Keldon. It's always been the play. But I always liked Keldon. Never disliked him. People just don't believe me when I would criticize and then say like, hey, I still like Keldon. They wouldn't hear that part. No one cared. No one believed it. Of course I liked Keldon Johnson. I didn't like DJ. Now, I think that was very apparent. I think everyone could tell I wasn't crazy about DJ, like off or on the court. But Keldon, I like Keldon. I like him a lot. But no, Sohan is my Sohan. I still believe in him. All right, he's gonna be all right.
I mean, I just feel like he was more aggressive and he took the game into his hands and he made things happen.
Going back to what you called the worst feeling in the world, does it feel any different losing in a season like this where they've come a little bit more, I guess, scarcely, or compared to years past where they've kind of started to pile up, or is it all the same to you?
I feel like a loss is a loss. I feel like nobody plays the game of basketball to lose. It sucks losing now. It sucked losing then. It's no fun. Losing is no fun, and you really play the game of basketball to go out there and compete and win. So, I mean, it sucks. But like I said, we get to do it again in 48 hours, something like that. So we'll be able to lock in and get another crack at it.
Good answers. And he repeated himself like 50 million times. And that's really good. Yep, Hawks lost. Nuggets lost. We're okay. Nothing changes for us. We're fine. Don't worry. Yeah, the only thing from here is just keep grinding and kind of see what comes from it, right? Like, see if we respond. But right now, we're good. Chris Paul said to expect it every game. Expect to win every game. But to lesser teams, you can't expect to win. But to a lesser team, you can't expect to win. I think the more so is like winning is the standard, right? Like, yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to win. But I guess there's a balance to it. You can't come into it with like arrogance, like I don't have to do anything to win. It's just that's my standard. Like, winning is the standard. Which this team is a winning team. Like, this is a playoff team, deep playoff team. If the Spurs can, because there's a storm coming, guys. It is a legitimate storm coming because we are on everyone's social media. There's memes being said about what we did against the Thunder. There's ESPN discussing us. Everyone's talking about us. Everyone's going crazy. Fans are going crazy. Other teams are going to take that personal and they're going to come at us, right? So, like, this is where the storm is coming. And if the Spurs can manage to stay fighting through the storm, keep our winning percentage what it is, and end the season off still being a second or third best team in the West, yeah, this is a contender. This is a legitimate. We're going deep into the playoffs, and let's see what happens. And if we were to meet the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals, that's us. We're already in their heads. I think we got the Thunder 2 more times, right? But we're already in their heads, guys. But good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, I don't want to hold you guys. Not a terrible loss, you know. I mean, it's a bad loss because how poorly we played, but won't happen again. Spurs aren't going to shoot 22%. Like, that's crazy. And yeah, we'll be all right. We should have gave Olynyk some minutes. Olynyk would not have saved us in this game, man. Olynyk not getting minutes was laughable, but Sohan, I'm not mad though. Olynyk is okay. Okay, guys. Olynyk wouldn't have saved us at all, but okay. Sure, whatever. Sohan got like 30 seconds in this game, but sure. Bucks won, so they caught up a bit on the Hawks too. Oh, they didn't realize that. Good. All right, guys, hopping off. I will get with you guys later. I appreciate the love. I'm a little sleepy myself. It's not even that late, but I'm sleepy. I'm gonna do these thumbnails and lay it on down. So 4 straight losses incoming, 4 straight wins incoming. All right, I'll get with you guys later. Gonna be a tough stretch, but we'll be all right. Bye.